On to A-shaping goals. Actionable. This is my favorite. Okay? And trust me, it's a tough field in terms of these fields of trying to get my favorite. Actionable is my favorite. You can make a goal, and it can be specific. It can be measurable. It could be, we're going to change out all of our lighting. We're going to measure our cost savings month to month over this. Actionable. Is it actionable? Ask hard questions of your clients around this. Can they do this? Do they have the time? Do they have the expertise to do this? If not, can we bring in our people to do it? Is the lighting change, and then we're just using this one for an example, is it able to be done at a certain time of day? That it's not going to have a big impact on your workforce while it's getting done. Is it going to be okay to be doing it on weekends? Do we have access to the building on weekends? Is everything set on some timer and you got to go beg some office manager, some office management company to get access to your building on days that you didn't know you were going to be working? Is it actionable? It's something that's real. Also, too, it's something that's actually action-based. That's really big. There are all kinds of ethereal. That word just kind of means it's substantive. Okay. There are all kinds of ethereal things that companies can decide to do. They might even be specific. They're ethereal, but somehow they might find their way to be lending themselves to a thing of manageable. But if they're not action-based, they're not real. If somebody doesn't have to actually do something, chances are you're not making a big, huge impact. Now, under actionable, and you'll find this one probably deviates, that I chose actionable as that A word than some of these other ones. Some of these other ones sound really good, but actionable is really important. Is it appropriate? Is what you're doing actually appropriate? We can say we're going to change out the lighting, but if all of our work tasks are dependent upon showing up, maybe we're a photo production company, or a graphics production company, and the work that we do requires a sort of neutral lighting to do it. Maybe you need some soft. Okay, here's a great one. We're a art gallery. You're helping an art gallery. You're going to switch to LED lighting. Does that LED lighting, does that LED lighting, LED meaning diode lighting, okay? Does that LED lighting affect the way that people's perceptions are of the paintings that are hanging in that gallery? I don't know. You might have to run a small test to find out whether it does or it doesn't. But, is it appropriate to do the change that you're doing? Give it a real look. Help your clients go through that process of figuring out whether it's actually appropriate. Is it achievable? Is it something they can really do? Or is it too far of a stretch? Just given what their other business challenges are, is kind of a... Asking these folks if it's achievable gives them a sense that you really care. That you're not just in this to make money. Is it something that you guys can really do? They'll tell you what they can or they can't. Big part of that is it assignable? Okay? Remember, you're talking about something that's actionable. Can they give it to somebody and somebody run with it? Is it something that's clear enough that somebody is actually going to take it and run with it? Or do they just not have the person there that's going to care to actually do it? And it's going to have to be on the CEO's back or the president's back to do it, or this upper-level manager's back. Can they give it to somebody and have them actually do it? Is somebody in the room going to do it? Who's going to do it? Okay, that's big under action. Action-oriented, we already talked about a little bit. Is it something that's actually making you move? And ambitious. If it's not ambitious, it's kind of hard to find the motivation part of it. Remember in Immeasurable, we talked a little bit about motivational. Is it ambitious? Does it get you there? Do you feel like you're taking on enough? Do you feel like you're really stretching yourself? Is it ambitious enough to get there? And that's a great sense of why actionable is why we're here. All those words flow to actionable. And you want those things to become accepted agreements. All these things at the end, you got all these things, you get to the point where you're talking about actionable, you can start to translate actionable into agreements. They're going to do this, they're assigning it to this person, they need help in this area, they want to meet with 3 vendors under this type of thing, we need 3 lighting contractors, bring them to us, George. I don't want to do the time for that. Bring me 3 people, do you have 3 people that you trust? Have you got 3 people that we trust? We're going to bring them out. We're going to give them, can I get times? Can I book times? Get it at time base later, but that's what you're talking about in terms of actionable. Another important thing to note about actionable is that getting the buy-in of everybody at the table is important. It's not like you're voting in Congress and you got to get 60 votes, because the one vote on the opposite side of the issue from you might very, very well be the person that they're going to assign the tasks to. And that person will find a way over the course of time to scuttle your efforts. Because they either don't want to take on the task of changing out the lighting or getting these vendors, doing any of this other stuff. Maybe they're just plain lazy. Maybe they're just plain lazy. Maybe they're just plain not too lazy. They got a lot of priorities, and maybe their priorities count and are more important than what you're thinking about. So make sure that when you're talking to these players that you find out you guys all into this. All right? We need that person. We need that person to understand that there is a sense of dignity surrounding their task that's being assigned to them. That all people crave dignity. Okay, it's a natural thing. Argue that point, and you'll find yourself in a lot of trouble over life. But all people usually crave dignity, and find that person that's there that might scuttle your plans. Give them a dignity. Give them a role. Build them up. Let them know, that they're helping. Ask other people in the room to let them know that they're helping. But make sure that you don't have somebody that's poisoning your pills.